Are you following a Super Rugby Pacific team in 2024? Stick around, I'll share my predictions for round 2. Hey everyone, it's Coach H here, and you've found Inspired by Union, a channel where I discuss Southern Hemisphere rugby. Let's dive right in. Well, Super Round in Melbourne is upon us, and I'm going to preview Moana Pasifika versus Fijian Drua. I'll also touch on the other games across the round. Moana Pasifika. With wholesale coaching changes, the Pasifika deservedly led the Highlanders at the halftime break and were in this contest for long periods of time. With a well-balanced side, the team showed improvement with its carry and clean and were real disruptors at the breakdown. William Havili at 10 had some nice touches, and Nigel Wong returned to Super Rugby superbly. Expect Moana to get into their work early. I expect that this contest will be won at the contest area and the breakdown. Fijian Drua. On the road for the first 4 weeks of competition, Drua never really got out of the blocks against the Blues and will be disappointed that they didn't make better use of a wind behind their back in the second half. One area where the Drua can really attack Moana Pasifika this week will be in the scrum battle. They had the Blues under pressure for various scrums during the game on the weekend. Youngster Isaiah Armstrong-Ravula, if he can settle early, he has real threats outside him in Vota and Marcy that can cause all types of damage. It's the Drua to win the battle of the breakdown, get themselves onto the ladder in week 2 by less than 7. The Blues versus the Highlanders. I expect the Blues to have just a little too much class for the Landers this week. With Reiko Ioane and Finlay Christie on rest duty, expect Dalton Papali'i to expect high standards from his forwards in order to lay a platform. The Highlanders welcome back Ethan de Groot, and the tradesman-like forwards will look to disrupt the Blues at the contest and the breakdown this week. The Blues take this game by less than 7. The Melbourne Rebels versus the Western Force. The Rebels will be looking to start again this week, and they welcome back Taniela Tupou into the starting lineup. Application at the contest is order of the day here for the Rebels if they're to find parity this week. The Force, whilst comfortably beaten, had some really nice periods last week against the Hurricanes. Look for White and Donaldson combination to grow again, more time in the seat together, more comfortable they are driving this team around the paddock. The Force by 12 and over. The Crusaders versus the New South Wales Waratahs. Noah Hotham and Taha Kamara are boyhood friends who played all their schoolboy rugby together, and they get to drive the ship around this week behind a massive forward pack that the Crusaders are rolling out. In a signal to the propping depth for the Red and Blacks, Fletcher Newell comes into starting tight head this week. The Waratahs will need the loose forward trio of Lee Warner, Gamble and Gleeson to fire this week if there are any chance to upset the Crusaders. The Tars do have a game style that does seem to upset the Crusaders' style. However, I can't see the New Zealanders dropping 2 games in a row. The Crusaders this week by 12 and under. The Chiefs versus the Brumbies. 2 teams that have a recent finals history which points as a real motivator to this game. Both sides are matched up really nicely on paper. In my preseason predictions, I thought the Chiefs would take this game out. However, now I'm calling my first draw of the season. Watch for the Battle of the Tens, D-Mac and Lolosio, possibly a pointer to an international rivalry in 24. The Hurricanes versus the Reds. The Canes got off to a flyer last week. However, in round 2, they'll be tested by an injury crisis amongst the loose forwards. The Reds, meanwhile, look settled, and pre-season form and last week suggests they're building nicely. Winning against Kiwi opposition is the key to showing that they've progressed for real. I've picked the Canes by less than 7 solely on the fact that the Reds have struggled against Kiwi Oppo the last few seasons. If you're finding these insights helpful, consider smashing that subscribe button and pressing the bell for more insights every week. Remember, this has just been a brief preview on your team for round 2. Fortunately, I get to attend Super Round this week in Melbourne. I'll look to provide updates following each day's action. I'm Coach H, and you've been watching Inspired by Union.